Well, hello there, Vlad here. Welcome to my studio, and more specifically my home studio, which is a great segue to the fact that if you want to set up your home studio, there's a free home studio setup course in the link down below in the description. So if you want to set up your home studio and start recording your own music, check it out over there, completely free. Now I should mention right away that this video and my kind of official launch of the new studio video, which you can find here in the cards and in the description as well, will have some overlaps. Basically in that video I tell you why I decided to redesign everything, rebuild the whole studio, and what were kind of my goals there. And this video is more about all the tweaks, adjustments and changes I've made since then. So this is kind of an update on what it's been like to work here for the past 4, 5, 6 months or so. I'm losing the math here right now. But yeah, if you want to take like a deep dive into my thinking of designing this space, check out that video as well. Actually, I would probably recommend watching that one and then seeing what happened over the next few months since that video, which is this video. But enough talking, let's actually dive into the stuff. The basic layout of the studio is still pretty much the same. So the desk, I moved the monitor over here, that used to be over there. Now there's a guitar standing over there, but otherwise that's the same. Amp rack, then there's the rack unit over there where there's a bunch of stuff stored. That closet that I cleaned up while renovating this place is a total mess again, so it's kind of back to normal, I guess. Then on this side of the room there's all of our CDs, some LED strips, my laptop, and these drawers host a bunch of my gear that is finally well organized. Oh, and whenever I need any cables, there's 2 boxes that contain all of my audio and video cables, meaning like HDMI cables and such. I'm actually missing a rug from the floor right now, which is actually part of my acoustic treatment for the room as well, because one of our cats decided to pee on it. And if you know anything about cats, if they do it once, you basically need to throw that rug away. So I'm looking for a new one right now. Oh, and I got myself a new office chair as well. Again, it's from IKEA. First of all, I want to talk about what it's been like to record in this space, both my own music and with other people, well, at least to the extent it's been possible over the past months. And I'm happy to say that I got a lot of things right when designing this studio. The combination of the Universal Audio Apollo Twin, the Focusrite Claret Octopre that's in my rack, which is by the way connected to this via ADAT, and the Scarlett 2i2, again by Focusrite, gives me a huge amount of flexibility of what kind of recording setups I can create, and it just works really well. Having stuff pre-wired has been amazing because, for example, if I want to record guitar, all I need to do is to turn the amp on, make sure the pedal board is powered as well, plug in my guitar, and I'm good to go right away. No need to search for cables or anything like that. It allows me to focus on the creative process itself. And even if I need to go for something that's not pre-wired, before it used to be that I need to reach on the back of the Apollo Twin and try to plug in something there, but now I have 2 inputs available pretty much at all times with the Focusrite Claret Octopre, and if I need to plug in something that's not been pre-wired, I just go there and it works right away. Really, really cool. And before anyone asks, yes, this is a horse that my daughter wanted to have me here, and I think it looks nice. I also feel I got the acoustic treatment right in this room, with the DIY acoustic panels you can see over there. I've recorded a bunch of different stuff here, like vocals, voiceovers, acoustic guitar, and all of those things have turned out great. And also I've noticed that this space is really nice to mix at. I feel the mixes I do with my studio monitors, let me show them, with the studio monitors and everything, I feel the mixes translate into the real world really well, and I actually feel like my mixes have taken a step forward, if you will, because I can actually like hear what's happening in the mix, and that has helped me to improve as a mixing engineer. Guitar gear wise, the only changes that have happened have been me getting few more pedals for my pedal board, replacing some of the old ones, and me getting one more guitar. I've been pretty much using the Rev D20 over here, and the Uraltone Junior and the Boss Katana have just been chilling, I guess. My pedal board is slowly transforming into KMA Audio Machine's fanboy pedal board. I already had 4 of their pedals here, and when I saw the limited edition series as well, I just had to get it, and it sounds fantastic. I mean, they're great pedals, they look cool, and I really like the people making these pedals as well, so why not? I actually had a Helix Stomp on my pedal board as well, but I very recently had to sell that because I had to get a new computer. More on that whole thing a bit later. Overall, I think this pedal board paired with the Rev D20 and all of the guitars I have allows me to get pretty much all the guitar tones I want, from like cool vintage sounds to true metal tones and spanky cleans and ambient stuff and all kinds of cool things. I've been really happy with the guitar tones I've been getting here. Speaking of those guitars, let me go through them quickly. First of all, this is a large brown guitar that's really loud acoustically. Wait, this isn't a 60 cycle hum video. No, this is a Taylor 110E I've had for many years. Ibanez AZ2402. Harley Benton Amarok baritone. I'll be doing a video about this guitar soon. I love this thing. My self-made Telecaster, still loving this guitar, still sounds awesome, plays great. Harley Benton enhanced 5-string bass. Vola Oz RMN, a guitar that I reviewed very recently. Amazing instrument. Links to the demo of this guitar in the description. Ortega Nightwalker, a really cool nylon string guitar that I actually used on an upcoming song, Teaser. Ortega Mini Bass, this thing is also fantastic. I've used it live and in studio setting as well. I still haven't made a demo out of this. I need to, because I've actually been using this thing every now and then and it sounds really cool. So stay tuned for that as well. And last but not least, my self-made 335-ish type of guitar. So there's a center block and hollow sides and really good Sheptone tribute pickups. I love how this thing sounds and plays. And yeah, really happy with this guitar. There's also a Harley Benton T-style kit in the closet, but I'm way too lazy to pick that up. It's there. You don't really need to see it until I start modding it. That should be a fun project at some point. Overall, I feel the audio side has been great, and it's been mostly about me learning how to use all the gear and how to get most out of it. And I guess the only complaint I have is that when I need to do a recording session remotely, moving all of this gear is pain in the butt, but more about that in the video side of things. Now the video side of things is where I've done most of my tweaking, and I think it's very natural because I've been recording music at home for almost 15 years now, but I've been doing this video thing only for 4 years or so, and I've spent this time figuring out how to create the videos I want to create with the gear I have, and that's been a really interesting journey. If you take a look at the video from a year ago and compare it to something I released recently, there's definitely a big change in how the videos look. But it's not just about creating better looking videos. I've actually noticed that I'm starting to enjoy setting up different camera angles and lights and create different moods with those, and also use them as a storytelling tool, if you will. I don't claim to be a professional videographer or anything like that, but you gotta start somewhere, right? I've been repositioning the lights a lot over the past months to see what works best, and I'm pretty sure I need to invest in few new lights at some point. I'm also starting to get into camera lenses a little bit. Besides having the stock Panasonic Lumix G7 lenses and the prime lens I got last summer, I now have this fantastic Soviet Union made Helios 44mm lens that I love so much. I don't want to go into details too much, so all you need to know is that it has a very shallow depth of field and it allows me to create shots like this. I also moved to shooting all of my videos with Blackmagic 8M Mini Pro, and if you're not familiar with the device, it basically allows me to plug in different cameras into this and switch them like this and do transitions and all kind of stuff, and all of this gets recorded on a hard drive. So instead of me shooting my videos with multiple cameras and then taking those SD cards, putting them into the computer and then syncing everything up in the editing software, I can now record the video here, do all the editing right over here with the buttons, and then I just unplug the hard drive and I have one single file to edit, and that saves so much time. I had some reservations at first because I knew that this thing only shoots full HD, but after finding some of the settings on the device, I managed to bump up the recording quality I think this looks really good. The footage is sharp, and even though it's full HD, when I upscale it to 4K upon export, there's some YouTube things why I do that, it just looks really great, and I bet none of you could tell that it's been shot in full HD. So this has been working great, and I don't have to deal with like 100 gigabytes of video files for just like a 5-minute video or so. Now, it's not all been rosy and cozy and all of those nice things here in the Cat Big land either. The biggest issues I've had have been with the 16-inch MacBook Pro I had over here. As you can see, it's not here anymore. And I just felt the computer was vastly underperforming compared to the price tag it had. And I was just having a lot of issues with it. Then I ended up upgrading it to Big Sur, how do you pronounce that? Like the latest OS for the computer, and it started to work way better. But at that point I also realized that I need 2 computers, because I was getting so tired with unplugging all of my dongles and cables and everything, like plugging my laptop into the system, then taking out of all of the adapters again and going to some place to work, to my ex-workplace, or just edit videos in the living room, stuff like that. And I'm actually started to notice like wear and tear on the dongles and all of the cables as well, and I got tired of that. So I ended up getting a Mac Mini. This is the new M1 model. This is the cheapest base model, so 256 gigabytes of storage space, 80 gigabytes of RAM, stuff like that. And this thing has been great. I still feel I need to add a few like extra things here to get more ports and also just some more storage space, but this thing is really impressive. And I'm actually planning to do a review of this computer from like a music production perspective, because this is, I would call, affordable, and you can do a lot with it. And I'm sure a lot of people will want to know how it works with Logic, for example, or as a center of your home studio. So yeah, look forward to this review as well, or if it's out already, links below in the description. And as I just mentioned, I want to have 2 computers, not only to be able to work in my living room on a laptop, for example, but I also need a smaller computer that can fit this SKB case that I got. I plan to build my whole live stream rig around this thing. Let me take the lid off, like that. Let me quickly bump the camera lightness a little bit. So this is what I want to build my live stream rig around, and one of the issues I have is that like this 16-inch MacBook Pro doesn't actually fit here, which is a huge problem. So I cannot store it here safely without like knowing that it won't wobble here or anything like that. I could remove those things, but then the laptop would kind of move around over here. So I need a smaller one, like a 13-inch one. And also what's cool about this is that it has 2 rack units over here. So I could have like an 8-channel audio interface here and some other stuff as well. And everything could be pre-wired here. So when I arrive to a place where I need to start recording or live streaming or anything like that, I have 8 channels going on here. I have my laptop here, the ATEM switches, stuff like that. So that's really cool when I actually get this done. One of my goals with building and getting all of this stuff was actually being able to rent this gear for other people to do live streams and create like a simple setup. And I've been really fortunate that that's actually happening. People are actually renting this gear from me. But it has also presented me with a very, I guess, positive problem where I need to dismantle a lot of this every time somebody wants to rent the gear. And basically I think I need to get everything in double, so meaning like an extra audio interface, a second video switcher, maybe one more camera as well, and stands and cables and all of that, and maybe even like a third, most likely very cheap laptop that could handle the live streaming. So whenever someone wants to rent my gear, I have that case you just saw, plus a few extra things like maybe that case and like a backpack, and it has everything those people need, all the cables, everything, and all is pre-wired as much as possible, because otherwise I'll lose my mind. I was actually using all of this gear for a live stream remotely a couple of days ago as of shooting this video, and I think it took me 2 hours to put it all back again, and it was annoying. So I don't want to do that all the time, and I want to be able to rent my gear without sacrificing anything here in my workspace. So at some point I need to get doubles of a lot of things. That costs money that I really don't have now, especially with getting a new computer and stuff. But you gotta have plans for the future, right? And also one cool thing about me getting the live stream / remote recording rig ready will be that it will be really easy for me to invite friends to, like, for example, a rehearsal space. We can go there and it's easy to record like live jams and stuff like that with the rig. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Overall, with all of this new setup and gear, I've been extremely happy to come and work here every day. I feel my productivity has skyrocketed and I'm having a lot of fun creating content for you guys. If you have any questions about the gear, software, anything like that I've done here, leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you want to set up your home studio, check out the free home studio setup course as well. If you're new here and enjoy the content, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. And that's a wrap, I think. Thank you for watching. I shall see you next time.